Welcome to Deadly India. Tonight, we're going to a small town in Odisha. I want you to meet Anjali. She's 15, an amazing Kho player, and her story is about a dream that turned into a nightmare. It's about a thirst that death itself couldn't quench.
I mean, really think about it. That school trip you always wanted. You begged your parents, you convinced your teachers, you've got your bags packed, you're ready for the best time of your life. But what if something was already there, waiting for you? Something old and angry and so thirsty.
See, for Anjali and her best friend Neha, this trip, well, it was everything. They'd been trying for years, playing in these small local tournaments, begging the school, and finally, it happened. They got approved for a big competition, way out in Indore. For a couple of kids from a small town, this was like winning the lottery, straight out of a movie.
So, the big day arrives. You've got 24 of the school's best players, just buzzing, piling onto this bus. Angela, Neha, all of them, 4 days away from home. The energy was just electric. You could feel it. And right at 4 p.m., the bus pulls away from the school. This was it. The dream was real. But that feeling, that perfect, joyful, dream-come-true feeling, it wasn't gonna last. You see, sometimes the world tries to warn you. It gives you a sign, a big bloody sign that says, turn back, go home. And the sign they were about to get, well, it was about as dark as they come. They'd only been on the road for, 5 minutes? And that's when it happened. Two black cats, just tearing into each other, suddenly dart right out into the road, right in front of the bus. The driver, he slams on the brakes, but too late. There's this awful thud that just cuts through all the chatter on the bus. Silence. The driver gets out, and when he comes back, his face is white as a sheet. He gets on, looks at everyone, and just refuses. Flat out, he will not drive this bus one more inch.
He said, and I quote, "This journey should not continue. It is an omen of a great disaster." He was genuinely terrified. He believed it was a sign that something terrible was going to happen. And no amount of pleading from the teachers could change his mind. He just left them, walked away. Can you imagine? It took them 4 hours to find another driver. By the time they were moving again, that electric feeling was gone, replaced by this heavy, dark cloud of dread. They get to Indore really late, and the new school, it's impressive, Big, modern, huge grounds. They get settled into a hostel right nearby. And slowly, that excitement starts to bubble up again. I mean, they're kids, right? The bad omen from the road starts to fade a little bit. This is still an adventure after all. But Anjali, she couldn't sleep. You know that feeling. New place, long trip, something just felt off. So she wakes up Neha and they decide to go for a little walk, just to clear their heads. They're wandering by an old basketball court on the school grounds when they see it. At the very edge of the property, a house, or what was left of one. It was burnt out. Blackened walls, crumbling roof, just derelict. And you get the feeling, looking at it, that it was watching them back.
And then, out of nowhere, Anjali gets hit with this overwhelming thirst, like she's never been so thirsty in her life. She turns to Neha and says, "I'm so thirsty. Can you run back and get some water?" And Neha, being a great friend, says sure and heads off. So Anjali waits. A couple minutes go by and she sees Neha coming back holding a water bottle. But something's off. Neha walks right up to her, looks her dead in the eye, unscrews the cap, and just gulps down the entire bottle. Every last drop. Then, she holds out the now empty bottle to Anjali as if offering her a drink. Anjali is just stunned. And a little ticked off, What was that all about, she asks. But this thing that looks like Neha doesn't even blink. It just points a finger toward that burnt-out house. And its voice, it's flat, empty. "Don't worry," it says. "There's a tap back there. We can get all the water we need." Anjali is still so thirsty and so confused that she just follows. She follows this thing that looks like her best friend right towards that dark, terrifying house. And as they get closer, this fake Neha starts repeating this phrase over and over. "My thirst will be quenched, and so will yours." Just like a chant. It's so creepy. And with every step, the air feels colder. Anjali's heart is starting to pound. This is wrong. Something is very, very wrong. They're almost at the gate of that ruined house when a voice cuts through the silence.
Anjali, come back! It's a voice she knows instantly. She whips around, and there, all the way back on the basketball court, is Neha, the real Neha, and she's holding a full bottle of water for her. Anjali's heart just stops. She slowly, so slowly, turns back to face the thing in front of her. But there's nothing there. Where her friend was standing just a second ago, there was just this pillar of black smoke, Kala Duan, just twisting and turning in on itself, and then poof, gone.
I mean, can you even imagine? They just ran, straight back to the hostel, terrified out of their minds. The next day, they're at practice, and they see the school watchman yelling at some kids to get away from that same burnt house. So later, Anjali and Neha, they know they have to ask. They find the watchman when he's alone, and they ask him, what is the story with that house?
The old man, he just lets out this long, tired sigh, and he tells them a story. He says that years and years ago, a family lived in that house. Their daughter was about to get married. It was the night before her wedding, everyone's celebrating, and the bride gets really, really thirsty, so she goes inside to get a glass of water. And in that one moment, a fire starts. No one knows how, the whole house just goes up in flames like a torch. She died in there, her and her whole family. He told them her spirit never left. They call her the Piasi Chudayal, the thirsty ghost. She's trapped there, forever feeling the thirst from the smoke and the fire. It's a thirst that can never, ever be quenched. So she wanders. She finds people who are alone at night, makes them feel thirsty, and then tries to lure them into that burnt-out house. Maybe she thinks they can help her, or maybe she just doesn't want to be alone anymore.
Anjali was one of the lucky ones. Her real friend showed up just in time. But it really makes you think, doesn't it? If you were out there, alone in the dark, so thirsty you could barely think straight, and someone who looked just like your best friend offered to help, would you follow them?